What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Powerstroke Tech Talk Podcast. This is number 30. We're getting up there. We're excited to be back. We got our normal crew and a new guest, King Rancher 13. Reached out to him, got him on the show, and we're going to talk some trucks and probably oil for all you guys. For those of you that have not or cannot watch us on YouTube, make sure to check us out on the mainstream podcast apps, Spotify, Amazon, TuneIn, all those good ones. We have DS running some new stuff in his truck. We have old Mr. Matt down here. He's got the 6.0.
Yeah.
King Rancher.
It's gonna get sold.
Welcome to the Superduty talk show. I guess we want to know what kind of power strokes you rolling with right now, King Ranch. Like a hint of what you got going on.
So yeah.
Plug your channel. Tell them everybody who you are. Plug your channel.
Right. So I'm King Rancher 13. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Cool to meet different guys in the industry all over the country and stuff like that. I know I'm down from Louisiana. Y'all are, I think most of y'all from Michigan, right? Somewhere around there.
Yep.
Cool. UP or LP or what do you? How do you say it?
Oh, LP. Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
Is that
in a while.
Lower Peninsula?
At least you knew the UP. That's all I care about.
We're like right here.
Okay,
This
is
and
Michigan.
the only reason why I know UP is because I played football in college at Wheaton in Chicago, near Chicago.
Oh,
and
right.
I had teammates that were from I remember they would just talk about UP or something like that.
Yeah.
So whatever. But anyhow, so King Richard 13, how I got started out was back in 2015 or 16, I think, or 15, 16, somewhere around there. I got my first King Ranch.
That's awesome.
And before then, I've had other 250s. I've had other pickups and stuff like that. And I got my first King Ranch, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take some pictures and stuff like that. I've always enjoyed photography, total amateur, but I just liked it. I feel like I had a good eye for how to take them at a certain angle and
right.
The rule of thirds. You get in that zone from that certain degree, and so I named my Instagram handle King Rancher 13 because I is a 2013 F-150 King Ranch with the 3.5 Eco boost, and
okay.
I mean that thing was clean. I put 265 70 R20, and then I put a 2.25 inch leveling kit and ranch hand brush guard and put NFAB steps with a little step. It was clean. I mean, it was pop, but it was clean.
It was pop, but it was clean. I like that.
So that's how I got started, and just organically, just grew things. I just made it. It was fun for me. It was really fun to be able to see other clean trucks and have people liking my page. And that's the first time I really started to get a following on the truck community. And then after that, just started rolling it on its own. I ended up having to sell it, and I had to get a 250 for work. And this was when I was living in Florida after college, and I had to get a 250 I was starting out to do civil construction. I was doing project management and stuff like that. And so I would move equipment, and I was like, in the blue collar industry, you got a 250 or 350 Super Duty. I mean, you're kind of top dog kind of deal.
So 250 back then, you had the 6.0?
So I bought another 2013 250.
13.
It was
okay, I missed that.
It was blue and gold.
Okay.
And it was blue and gold. And I remember I had seen a buddy that had been following me, and I followed him back, and he had a 2014 or something like that 250, and it was leveled on 37. It's actually I'll give a plug to Chance from Grappleholics. I'm sure y'all have seen his channel and his Instagram and stuff. And he had, it was super clean. I loved it. It had a go light on the back of it. And I was like, I dig that look. I think I'm going to do it on this truck. So I ended up, instead of leveling it, I have never been a fan of it being squatted or, nose down and stuff like that. I was thinking if anything, I would rather be nose down, factory rake or, lifted, but, with the rake, because I was towing equipment and I never wanted to be that guy running down the road, like, with the strip. Oh man, that wasn't me. Exactly. Can't see barely over the hood. Anyways, I got that truck and I did a 3.5-inch lift with super springs. Have y'all heard? I'm sure y'all heard of super, right? Oh my gosh, they add so much payload capacity for cheap, So I remember I had like 7,000-8,000 pounds of concrete in the back of the pickup, and it looked pretty level and stuff. It was crazy.
Wow.
But anyway, I love that truck. I put it on 37 mud grapplers, and that's the first truck I put mud grapplers on as well. And then that truck just got really popular. And it got posted on Grappleholics. It got posted on different Powerstroke pages. And then the guys that were following my 150 now, like my 250, and they were sharing it to friends. And I remember, I think that's the very beginning of when Instagram started doing insight or analytics. And I was seeing, how much it was getting, likes and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's just pretty cool. And I'm just following along with what I was doing with my 150. And then actually I was still working there, and I found this was end of 2016 or beginning of 2017. I found a 350 King Ranch 2017 with 530 miles on it.
What?
And okay, I bought this private off a dead man.
Oh,
no joke.
What?
I literally bought it off a dead man. His girlfriend that he had been with for 13 years, I think it was actually in Pennsylvania. They were from Pennsylvania. I found on Facebook Marketplace. This is the very beginning of Facebook Marketplace as well. And like they had it up with a camper. It was a $80,000 camper and a $80,000 truck. And they were trying to sell it for like $160,000. And I was like, oh,
I just want the truck.
That's a clean. I just want the truck. I made the lady a cash offer. I was like, hey, if I came up this weekend, would you take 50,000 of cash for that truck? And the sticker was like, I think 68 or something like that. And he had just gotten it. And what happened is the dude had passed away 2 months back, and he had paid everything off before he had passed away. He had unfortunately had like some sort of heart failure or something like that. And because they had been together that long, she got the will or whatever. He didn't have any extended family or anything. She got everything. And so she was like, I don't know if I can take that low. We're hoping to get like 80 or whatever, sticker or close to sticker, because 500 miles. It had never seen rain since he had owned it. It was in a climate control garage. Wow. This is in January as well. This is in January, and it's cold up north, I know. And she was like, I could take like 64 or something like that. I was like, how about 55, and I'll fly up there tomorrow. And she was like, deal. So I bought that truck in 2017 for $55,000.
And it was what color one?
It was black and stone gray.
Black and stone gray. Dang.
Yeah. I mean, that thing was. It was clean. It was clean. And my wife and I, we
completely stock. Like he hadn't done nothing to it.
Bones
nothing.
Stock.
No old man. Nothing.
Nope. He hadn't gotten his touch on it.
Wow.
But unfortunately. So anyways, man, I went up there and stole that thing. So I had both the dually and my 250 at the same time. And around that time, actually shortly after getting it, I ended up leaving the company in Florida and going to start my own land excavation and kind of land clearing company there in northern Atlanta. And so it worked out perfect that I had already bought that truck. And so at the time, I mean, I didn't need two, Super Duties and stuff. My wife had a car. And so we ended up selling the blue one after moving up there, bought a gooseneck and got all my equipment and stuff. And I used the heck out of that thing, 30,000 miles.
Yeah.
Bone stock, but I did put 35, 12, 50, 17 Nitto trail grapplers on there. I stole off a guy that he had over, he probably had like 75% tread. I think I got him for like $1,300, you know.
Those
Yeah.
on with no lift, or you put those on no
I
problem?
put it on with no lift, no level, or
okay.
anything. Only thing
Wow.
is 2-inch rear spacers, you know, so it had enough clearance when I went on tow,
Oh,
the tires could flex out a little bit. But I mean, it looked level because I think over time of having the gooseneck, it settled the back end, and it looked really good. No rubbing at all whatsoever. My
Wow.
wife liked driving it. So yeah, then again, I had a King Ranch, and man, and then it's gone over and over the same story. I've gotten other trucks, and so since then I think I've had like, I don't know, 10 King Ranches or so. And so that's now and with that dually, I really had gained more following because it was a brand new truck in that same year. And oh yeah, the better thing about that story, I sold that truck for 65 grand after putting 30,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Wait, because the dually holds so much more value, or what?
No,
the
it's
truck
because it was still so new.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I just made it look just right to where it didn't have too much stuff done to it. So where it turned a lot of people off. It was, I mean,
it wasn't personalized
it just had,
to you. Well, people could still do some.
Right. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's
cool.
A little bit about my background on how, you know, King Rancher started and how I really got, you know, started gaining traction.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
awesome.
looking at your channel and I've seen some of your videos before. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen the one where you compare the new truck to the old truck is 2 Super Duties.
Yeah,
I've seen that one. Yeah.
I was watching the 10-speed one because I know the 10-speed's like a hot people. I mean, people I think still, even though 20s, you know, not far behind us, are still getting accustomed to this 10-speed in the Super Duty, and it's miss shifts and skip shifts, and not knowing that, you know, these sensations we're feeling, it's normal for it to go to 1 to 3, and then maybe
it's dependent on the load demand and the road, you know.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, I mean, it's not that they don't know, but may not be educated on it. And I think that title, you know, that's the one I clicked on because I'm like, oh, 10-speed. I'm like, oh, what happened to this 10-speed? What? It's just something I want to know because, like I said, you know, with me having a 2020, I did not get to order it. DS got to. A lot of my customers got to. A lot of some other people, you know, a lot of people have. But I think my next truck, I want to order a special build. But I really like King Ranch.
Can you haggle the price on a special order? Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you can't. Well, yeah. Why couldn't you?
It becomes difficult to haggle if you go up to, it depends on timing and the economy, but I think the 450s are hard to haggle.
Well, it probably depends on the time of the month and if that guy needs to sell a car really bad to get his numbers up or what.
Yeah, sometimes at the end of the month, you know.
I don't know what changes are going to be for the ones coming up. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have, you know, still a 10-speed, but I have heard that 23 there's going to be a few changes. I don't know if it's going to be to the transmission. I'm thinking fuel system, maybe turbo, but it's still going to be a base 6.7. Definitely excited. I know one of the project leaders that, you know, he hasn't obviously said anything to me, but just wait for 23. So I think definitely got me interested, and, you know, we
gives
can
me
always
enough time.
We can always get new trucks, but you know, with all this diesel stuff and, you know, people pushing for electric, it kind of makes you wonder, like, are they gonna be doing something electric with the Super Duty?
Is Matt
I don't know.
Something with a hybrid Super Duty?
I think hybrid. I think hybrid.
Would people use that? Is that a Super Duty character? Is there a hybrid Super Duty class? Like, is that a real thing?
I think there is, because like you can charge up a whole job site, you know, like.
I do like that. That is pretty slick. If they had that feature on a work truck. The Super Duty, you think Super Duty, you think work truck. Super Duty is job site. Super Duty is
Well,
construction.
they already put it in the F-150, so it wouldn't be that hard to put like a mild hybrid variation into a Super Duty. They already have.
No,
A
you
lot of
got to
those.
remember the Super Duties are usually what, 2 or 3 years behind what happens to the F-150.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 3 usually.
So I could see it happening. I know there was
They
chatter
wanna-
about it.
They're building that big plant. They're building that big battery plant, whatever, in Dearborn. But I wonder if they need to use that to its full capacity.
Yeah, I just don't know with a hybrid Super Duty, you're gonna need a big battery pack, and that's obviously gonna drop your GVW
Payload
down.
capacity,
Like
yeah.
it's gonna drop down your payload.
I'm already hearing.
Well, you know
people-
what? I was looking at the 150s, and they've kind of compensated for the drop in gross vehicle weight rating by increasing that rating just a little bit. They still have good payload. They still hold like 1,700 pounds, which is like what they were holding before. So they kind of addressed that. So maybe
You know what's laughable about the F-150s when you're considering payload to me is the diesel has the worst payload and worst GVW or GCVW out of all of them.
I hate to
It's-
talk bad
it's-
about the brand, and I'm
No,
all
I
about
just-
Ford and the Powerstroke, but at that little 3-liter line, Leon, you should have kept that boy over there.
Yeah,
Across the pond.
yeah.
Nobody wants to pay $65,000 for an F-150.
Oh, they
gosh.
do, but they do because they want to have it diesel.
I don't know.
You could have spent the same amount of money. and
I don't
bought
hear
Or
some hear
less.
good things. Yeah,
And got a
exactly.
Super Duty.
Exactly, man. Come on, people.
Well,
Well,
I will
you know.
say, that I remember hearing it would be like you always hear talking about people comparing the ride of a Super Duty to the ride of a half-ton truck, and so for those, I think that class of the 3-liter Powerstroke was just for the people that have enough money that want the ride of a half-ton, but it gives them barely that craving. It fulfills the craving of that diesel, just that little bit.
Yeah.
And
I think-
and that's what that class is.
Yeah,
I think that class is
I could
just a
totally feel you.
response to what is it, Rams Eco Diesel.
Mhm.
They're like, well,
Right.
we
Yeah.
gotta
To have
we
something
gotta
comparable
make-
on the market.
Yeah, we gotta make one, and then it's like, oh, it's not a fast
Mhm.
truck at all. Like it's just so.
No, dude, they're dogs.
Yeah.
But I will say, I do know some people that I think stock were getting like high 20s or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
hmm But that's relative to everybody's
How
tire
you-
lift and setup.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
foot.
drive slow. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, if you put a 3-liter F-150 on an LT tire, your fuel economy just dips.
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
It is awful because we had a customer, get his whatever it was, 2019 F-150 with a 3-liter. He put LTs on it, and I think his fuel economy was like 17, 18 miles to the gallon. He was pissed, wanted Ford to buy the truck back, and we were like,
That ain't
"Oh,
bad though. But that ain't bad considering if you did that to any other truck, you'd still lose MPG. So I mean, it's not a bad
Yeah.
place to be. For a good-
MPG. I was watching Bliss's. I don't know. You were going on a road trip or something. Oh, did your first YouTube live, and you had spun the camera on and
Yeah.
showed your cluster. Were
Mhm.
you really getting 24 miles a gallon?
That was in my black 2017 King Ranch. That was on 38s. That would be compensating for the speedometer being off. So with the 38s, I think
Oh,
if I
okay.
remember right, it's off by 16% or something of that nature.
No, that's still
So I
killer
took-
though.
I took-
Damn.
Yeah. So
So
it
did
was
the bigger
pretty
tires make it read a higher number, or
lower? It makes it a lower number. So like for example, let's say I was getting 12 miles per gallon. I would take that number. This nerd stuff, but you take that number multiply by 1.12 if it's off by 12%, let's say, and that's the number of what the lyometer should be saying. Of course, real fuel economy testing by filling up your tank and doing that
Blah blah blah.
is totally different. But this is just being lazy and just
Let
reading
the
off
truck doing its thing.
lyometer.
Right?
Yeah.
was it one of those situations where you reset it while you're moving, and then it kind of is already got an advantage a little bit.
Yeah, I think if I remember correct, and I typically do this on road trips right when I hit the highway and set my cruise and I'm at a good cruising speed. That's when I'll reset the fuel, average fuel economy.
I was thinking about this the other day. So if they're rating,
what were you thinking about?
What's really a fair way to rate
should be
fuel
a new
economy?
game.
What
Fair
Matt? What do you
rating for
think? What's a fair way to actually rate fuel economy? Because if you, well, not just
You're
you,
asking
but
me.
You want me to give you a heart or a star?
all right.
Oh, okay.
I want a gold star.
What's the most fair way to rate it? I think technically speaking, if to really know what the vehicle gets per gallon, you should already be up to speed, and then it should be when you're up to speed, then you reset it, and then what it's actually getting, and not taking into account the fact that you have to stop or idle or whatever, because all that's variable. Like you got to test the economy from like the pump.
That's how they test it.
But technically,
they put it on a dyno and they run it at highway speeds, and that's what it gets.
But
right?
do they usually take into account like, well, it's got to get that, and it's got to be able to stop, and it's got to be able to, it can't just be straight up.
Well, I mean,
I
they
hear what you're
take
saying.
that.
You're saying
they take that into account with the
Yeah.
city economy
there's
too.
so much
That's why it's so much
variables.
lower.
Yeah.
There's so
a
much
lot of
variables, but
like if you're just doing highway fuel economy, it should be exactly what you're saying. As soon as it gets up to speed and starts to coast per se, be on the cruise and at a steady.
That's how much
throttle
fuel it's burning per gallon.
Right.
Technically, that is what is burning per gallon, not all the stopping, because it's all variable.
Right.
And it's like,
and I think that's what it's calculating. And then of course, yeah, like, you know, this getting off the ramp and going to a gas station to fill up and do that, you know, kind of jacks up the rating a little bit. So to do a really true, very controlled test on the fuel economy, I think the best way is just while it's on the road driving. But I mean, unless you had another truck next to it to fill it up while you're driving, to try to really get a true
to actually measure
it would be
a
impractical,
KC 135
course,
tanker truck pulling up next side, and we're going to offload some jet fuel into this pig.
Dude, what if that's the way to recharge electric vehicles?
Huh.
You basically have the Strato tanker, but it's for your electric.
Uber power, and they just pull
Wait,
up in
hold on. Hold on a minute.
Hold on, dude. Don't say that out loud.
I just thought about something for electric vehicles to recharge their batteries while they're moving. What if you just deployed a hook to a semi in front of you and you just let the regenerative braking do its thing? So it's bringing you where you got to go and it's charging your car at the same time.
All I see, headlines, big lawsuit, young Michigander.
Dude, it's a good idea. You can't knock it. It's a good idea.
I mean, kind of sounds a little Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, Woody gonna jump onto a semi truck kind of hook.
Hey, so did spaceships coming back into Earth and landing right side up.
Yeah, that's right.
It worked. It worked.
That's funny shit. Bliss, I wanted to ask you something. For I mean, obviously you're being around diesels, I mean, for a grip now. Are you telling your customers, are you running any type of additive in your fuel or your oil, like when you're doing your maintenance? Or like how are you taking care of your trucks? Like what is your like what do you do 10,000 mile oil changes? Do you not change the oil? I mean, because I have people that don't do that. So
so I never change my oil because I get new trucks so often. I'm just kidding.
Damn, I was right.
So
he's on that demo. He's on the demo schedule.
I'm on a demo spree.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I wish. I do my oil at 5,000 Motorcraft, or I go to the dealership and have them done, and then fuel filters at every 2 oil changes with 10,000 miles.
Okay.
And as far as additives and some of that juice, I've always, especially on these modern ones, I mean,
how's the fuel down there? What's it look like? I've never been to Louisiana before.
I mean, I feel like, I mean, I can't really compare, like I haven't done a lab test or anything, but just by looking at it and just by running it and looking at fuel filters and stuff like that, I feel like down south it's fairly, good quality.
You ever see water come out of your fuel separator?
So, man, to be honest, I'll be straight up with you. Probably in this last year or so, with the trucks I've had in the last year or so, I haven't ever checked the water separator.
Okay.
But
you never got a light, so
right.
And then do you usually do your filters at the dealership? So
yes, yeah. I've gotten to the point where I just leave it with them, and I'll go get lunch or something. Just because I'm running around so much, unfortunately.
So what is the cost of a filter and oil change at the dealership? What is that?
I think fuel filter changes are around 150-ish.
That ain't bad.
No, that ain't bad.
Remember right? And then oil changes typically like 110, 100.
Yeah. I was gonna say for me to do
100 or so.
All basic other than like trans filter, but if you want spill and fill on good old spill and fill, and then fuel filters, I think it's like 250 is what it usually ends up being.
Yeah.
So it's really not that
good.
No, it
Yeah.
ain't too bad.
And you're using the right parts. You're not using some, I heard a guy getting some I can't think of the word, counterfeit. I guess not counterfeit, but they weren't Motorcraft filters in the Motorcraft box.
From like Amazon or something?
Yeah, I got them off Amazon.
Oh, I've been hearing, I've heard stuff about that. Yeah.
They're all dented and they're not real.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro, I'm not down with that.
That's, you don't want to be messing around, have that come apart in your truck. And then, you know how much these fuel systems are. You don't want to be trying to go down that path, man.
How many topside filters have you seen crack, Aaron?
From the dudes who don't change the filter because the filter swells up so much that Old Faithful geysers right out.
So yeah, I was literally, Matt, you read my mind. I wanted to ask you about that filter. I got into it with this guy on Facebook, and I was like, well, you're supposed to change it every other oil change. And he's like, no, the book says 22,000 miles or something. And I'm like, really? And he shows me the book. I'm like, dang, I didn't know. I thought it was every other oil change.
I feel like, there's some people that go by the book, and then there's people that just go by what they go by. And I will say, I feel like from having I've had all the 6.0s, 6.4s, early 6.7s, mid 6.7s to the 6.7s now and stuff like that. And I feel like all the more modern as it gets, the more
they're stretching stuff. The book's kind of stretching some stuff.
I think so. And then also at the same time, there's more grace, but there's not more grace at the same time. There's more grace, and as in, I feel like that you can do more maintenance schedules at a little bit longer intervals, but at the same time, like very sensitive to fuel. Like those very little things. There's certain little things, and it'll just shut down everything,
But it was like it was one of those things where this guy is telling me, oh, it's 28,000 miles. Meanwhile, his filter's spraying fuel all over his engine. I'm like, dude, I'm not going 20,000 miles, man. That's that's just.
I know what the book said. That's what the book or the owner's manual is saying. But in reality, I think that may be a little excessive.
It might need to be one of those guys that puts like 22,000 of the lightest miles ever. But a guy like me with a big 48-gallon tank, and I'm just going through
gallons on gallons and
gallons.
Like
I can't be going on 22,000 miles.
Right. Yeah.
We got a guy I had talked about on one of the last shows. It was a brand new, not brand new, but it was an 18 450 Platy, 60K, original oil filter. Never changed the oil. Never changed the fuel filters. And it's just kind of disgusting when you see, money is an inanimate object, and it for some people is something that can be just blown away, not cared about, not saved, not really it doesn't matter. But when it has a different effect on different people, it's like, man, I cannot believe somebody would just have the audacity just to let this thing go to waste.
That was a 450, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like that's a $95,000 truck back in 2018. You know what this going to cost?
Dude, Aaron, look at some of these service trucks we work on that They got the full kit on it. They got the crane, they got the compressor, they got the inverter. They've got, a hydraulic system, depending on what tools they got to run. And, these companies will have 150 to sometimes 200 grand wrapped up in a truck. And it's not my truck.
Got 20 trucks in their fleet.
It just blows me away how much people just don't care.
Yeah.
It's mind boggling.
Have you ever messed with Forescan, Bliss? Do you know what Forescan is?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you messed with Forescan in any of these 20s?
Yes. Different. I'm sure, as you know, there's a different schedule sheet for the 20s. But yeah, there's some things that are in the 17 sheet that work on the 20s. And then there's some things that don't. But yeah, I mean, I've used them on the 20s, and
I'm looking for the TPMS. I want to
really?
change.
Yeah.
I cannot find the spreadsheet for a 20. I want to put my TPMS at 60 front and rear, and I was under the impression for some hex values or something like it wouldn't work from 17 to 20, or 17 to 19 values into the 20, and it's like kind of a bummer. I mean, not a bummer. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
It's like, but damn, come on! Like, how come there's got to be a? I don't know if you ever.
It's probably just all different.
If you ever hear anything on that, I'd be curious to find, or if you have a customer ask you ever, I've been looking for it online for the last week.
Yeah, the TP, like on the 17th or 19th, you can have the thresholds lowered, so that the sensor. And I want to say I thought I had done one on a 20 before.
I could only the spreadsheet that I saw, I could only just turn it off and disable it, but it didn't give me an increment like I could see on if I looked up a 17 where I wanted it 55, 65.
Right.
I don't know.
And you tried that one and it didn't work on the 20. You said
no. Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm thinking it was a 19. Yeah, I know.
Like
I've definitely turned them off. But.
That's like the last Forescan thing I want to do.
Well, my last Forescan thing on my 20, I would love to figure out is the speedometer. I haven't tried the 17th or 19 values in the 20 values for speedometer for the tire size change there. But I may have to tinker around with that. I just haven't had the chance to tinker around with it yet.
I wonder if FDRS. Have you used FDRS?
No.
So do you know what IDS is?
Yes.
Okay, so IDS is for those trucks. 20s, you now have to use FDRS. FDRS is a whole nother scan tool that Matt and I have to use to communicate, and PCM updates and knock sensor updates and pull codes, blah, blah, blah. But we have a provision in there to change parameters in the PCM. And I wonder if the tire size would be in its list of things that you can pick, for whatever tire size.
I'm going to say it has to be.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah.
It will, especially with all the different tire sizes they offer from the factory now, with like a 35.
Right. Because they got
35 is
big,
an option, and I think next year they're going to offer the Tremor with a 37.
I would almost bet you 100% that it would be an FDRS.
It's got to be in there.
Yeah, like tire axle size or something.
So like different sized things, Bliss. Do you guys do like a lot of lift kits and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, so we sell quite a bit suspension for the Super Duties. The biggest seller being our lift that we work with. We work with Ready Lift on 3.5 inch SST.
Oh, dude.
So
would you? I mean, this is just me. And every time someone has asked me to put a lift on, and what I recommend, it's always Ready Lift, because that's the first lift I put on my truck. And would you say that's probably one of the better ones to go with for the price point, or?
Yes, 100% for the value, 100%. I mean, Ready Lift, they've not just always been behind me, but then they've also been behind all of my customers. Actually, I just had a customer the other day, had one of the bolts for the radius arm drop brackets. I don't. He claims to have torqued them to the right torque specs and everything. But anyways, he sent me a picture and it had sheared off the end of the bolt there on the
Wow.
threads.
Damn.
And I don't know. Actually, I'm sorry. It was the head of the bolt that's somehow broke off. Anyway, so it was on the weekend, and I didn't see his calls and texts until I got back in the office Monday morning. And I called him, and he was like, "Yeah, like it broke or something down while I was going down the road. I had to get a tow truck to pull me, and he finally Saturday. He said he had to go into Granger or Fastenal or somewhere and find another bolt to replace it with, and got it figured out. But anyways, he said like the tow bill ended up being like $250, and then the bolt was only like $5-10 and probably less than that. But also it ruined his weekend and all that kind of stuff. Anyway,
Right.
So I got with my contact at Ready Lift there and kind of explained the situation to them. Was like, hey, just let you know I'm behind my customers, and just as much as y'all are behind me, and I've always been behind y'all. And I've sold thousands of their lifts by now.
Wow.
And I was like, well, can you help me take care of this guy? And they're like, yeah, sure. How much we need to get a check ready for? I was like,
well, now that's what's up.
Right on.
That's what's
right
up.
On. And that's another reason why I encourage customers to deal with me rather than buying something on Amazon or on eBay or on Ready Lift's website. They can buy it on Ready Lift's website, whatever. But purchase with me, obviously, I'm able to I'm a for-profit business because I take those profits and I typically put them back into my truck or into the YouTube channel to create more content. And that's how so with a lot of YouTubers, they fund their channel with ad revenue or sponsorships and stuff like that. Like I fund my own channel. Like I've only got like I think 2,500 subscribers, something like that, or maybe close to 3,000. I don't even know. But I think it just shows you I don't really look at that. I don't really care. I just keep putting out more content, and I just love engaging with people that have been watching and turn into customers, and encouraging them to do business with me because I've got relationships with a lot of different companies and a lot of different people in the industry to be able to help them out where another bigger store or online store or something like that isn't going to give you the time of day or the personalized.
It's the customer experience is what it comes down to.
Exactly. And as one person, I can only do so much, of course. So my wife, she actually she's in the Army, but she's in the National Guard now, and so she's able to help me on my admin, which relieves me to be able to do a little bit more time on the phone and stuff like that. So that's what my days usually consist of, being on the phone for 90% of the day, explaining to customers, instructing customers through the installation process, selling on them on different products of why they should choose this instead of this or this instead of this, because they could just call anybody or just order any part from anywhere, right? But calling us, I'm able to offer my personal opinion typically on things, and if I don't have experience in something, I'll just be straight up and be like, hey, I personally don't have experience, but I know this is what my customers or my friends have told me, and this is what I can offer you, and you can make the best educated decision. So that's a lot of what I do, and I just try to do as much as I can.
How do we? Where is this you're talking about? How do we view your e-store? What's your website?
So my store is outdoortrucks.com, but I barely got anything up there, honestly. 99% of the orders is through the phone or through messages. But through messages, man, I've been getting overwhelmed lately. So I've been trying to push people just to call in. At least I can, it gives me a little bit better sense of urgency rather than a message, because the street goes both ways. I want a customer to, I want to make sure they're really in for what they're in for, instead of just sending anybody can send in a simple message and be like, hey, let me get some price on some tires or something like that. And to get a quote for every single person on a set of tires, I mean, it takes me 5-10 minutes typically, and people don't think about it. People think I have a spreadsheet that prices stay the same all the time.
Yeah, right.
As you know, right now
Always
there's tire
changing.
shortages, and I'm having to allocate my tires from all over the country, et cetera, et cetera. So the phone is really the best way, for customers to be able to place an order right then and there, and also get more of a thorough explanation on, reason why they should get this instead of this, or etc.
I like it. So you guys do installs too, or you're just a storefront?
So we do installs. We've definitely slowed it down a ton, just because I'm having to put a lot of my time into building out the shop right now. So we got a pretty big shop. I got a 110 or 114 by 60 slab that's waiting for metal right now.
That's awesome.
That's a good
Exciting.
size.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. 20-foot eaves. I've got 14 by 14 doors, one 16 by 16 door. And then I've got the first 20 by 60 of the shop there is going to be my admin and office space, and then slash like a lounge kind of room. And then I just decided actually today to give my buddy's construction company to go ahead on doing the second floor, building out a conference room and one storage room, and then just a little small personal office just for me, at the end of the day, if I want to, just
jelly.
do whatever.
Dude,
So,
I like it. Go
I mean,
you. Go
I
you.
appreciate it, man.
Hoist.
Hey,
Oh, he's gonna have
hoist.
hoist.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Hoist.
it's a red iron building, so I'm sure I'm gonna be putting in a hoist somewhere
That's
sometime.
awesome, man.
And
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
the thing is, I could have just kept doing e-commerce, right, or just continue to basically sell parts from home office like I am right now. But man, I'm all about living life to the fullest, and I don't ever want to live a life with regrets. That's one of my life mottos: is no regrets. I got that from my football team, when I played in college. And man, people are always like, man, why do you want the overhead of having a huge shop and all that land and all that stuff? And I'm like, it's not for me. It's for my relationships with my customers. I'm also one of the youth ministers or pastors or leaders or whatever at my church. And so like, man, I'm all about making an impact in the community, making an impact in our state and the country and the world. My wife and we go everywhere across the country and for travel for a lot of family, but then we also have opportunities to do ministry and mission trips and stuff like that. And so like, man, it's not about me. It's so much greater than myself. Man, I'm so blessed to have my business to be able to make such an impact. Meet all y'all now. Now, we all got a connection now. And
man.
yeah, exactly. It's so much networking. And that's the beauty of, because I want to look back at life and be like, yeah, I just made a bunch of money just sitting in my, office or whatever. No, I mean, I want to be like, hey, it's not even about the money at that point. It's about making an impact and leaving a legacy and a dynasty, really. And so, man, that's what I'm doing. I pursue my dream every day. I focus on, there's not really a set dream that I have. It's just always just to continue to grow, continue to make an impact, continue to reach more people. And my biggest thing is I just had this happen today. And it just reminded me this week, just being a long week, he called me back and he was like, hey man, my truck drives so much better now. Thank you so much for the customer experience. And this dude, like, he didn't have to call me back. I already knew he was, pretty chill about it and he was thankful and stuff. But like, he took 5 minutes out of his day to call us back and let me know that. And he knows I'm busy, but like, it just reaffirmed to me of why I do what I do. And I love to help make people's dreams come true. Like, people spend money that they've been saving for a while, and I'm honored really that people will spend their money with us to have their dreams come true. And for me to just be able to be a part of it with my company, man, it means the world. That's
cool.
why I love what I do.
That's
Dude,
cool.
I love good customer feedback when it's like,
oh yeah,
doing what we're doing, you don't expect it, because everyone thinks we're just, a giant group of assholes that are out to take everyone's money. And
it's not.
That's not what it is. But I had one time that it's one of my coworkers. It's actually a truck that, he worked on extensively and built the engine on, this guy's 6'4", and whatever it was. Oh, the high pressure pump went out on it. So, my coworker assigns it to me and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to work on this. Like, this is like a real nice built truck. Like, are you sure you want me to work on it? And he's like, no, I know you'll do a good job. So, I work on it and think like a exhaust pressure sensor bracket that the guy had made had broken. So I'm like, well, I'll just, and I saw a couple wires here and there, and, he was trying to get his truck back on the road. So I just kind of tidied stuff up, and I got a text from my coworker not long after I went home, and he's like, this is from so-and-so. And it was like, tell him thanks for doing such a good job and for taking care of these little things so
Yeah.
I don't have to. And it's less time out of my day. I really appreciate that. And I was like, there's people like this out there. Like,
Yeah. Come
you
on.
liked what I did? Like, I was just grinning from ear to ear. Like,
Yeah.
it was someone's truck that like they trusted me, and it was just
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. You get remembered of your why, right?
Yeah.
I think when people bring their trucks into the dealership, and Matt can definitely attest to this, and I'll use your truck, Bliss, as an example. So you got this, brand new King Ranch coming in, typical, 40-year-old dude. You just spent a whole bunch of money on this truck. I get it. I got one. I know what the note is, Bliss. We get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the demeanor of these individuals, which I totally get it, but like right off the rip, they already got this. Yeah, who are you gonna have working on my truck? I don't want no. Hey, you don't relax, man. We're good. And I know, despite what you're reading on the forums and them chat rooms you're in, that's not how everybody does business. And it's like,
Right.
all we're doing here is to help you. We don't want to intentionally mess your truck up. We understand what these things are and can
Dude, the worst
sympathize
thing
for you.
it's just sometimes you have such ironic and terrible timing where you work on someone's vehicle and something else totally unrelated to what you were doing happens. So like, I had just reprogrammed someone's truck yesterday morning. Didn't have a check engine light on or anything.
You've got mail.
It's a beautiful 19 Platy. Like, this is a gorgeous truck. I'm making sure I'm taking extra care to work on this thing. I do my reprogram, go park it outside. This was at like probably 9:00. 3:00, I see the thing rolling back towards us. And I'm like, was I supposed to wash it or what? And they're like, check engine lights on. And I'm like, no, you do not get to do that right now. All we did was reprogram the truck. And they're like, customer's pissed. What'd you do? It was something totally unrelated.
What did you do?
Dude, it
Well,
was
you guys speak for yourselves. Not every tech out there's
right.
got the same attitude. Yeah, I'm that guy that walks in who's that 40-year-old guy. Well, I'm not 40, but I'm that guy that walks in like, who's working on my truck? Because
And you look like you Ford. No, I'm so.
there's some kids in there's like kids working in dealerships that aren't that good. There's like,
Dude,
in my area without trucks, like for whatever, some dealerships don't work on trucks. Dude, Matt.
How is that possible?
I know what
Matt,
you're saying,
bro.
but
I
How is
just
that
went-
possible?
I just went to the parts store at the nearest dealership to me, which I
Oh my
won't name.
gosh!
Oh, that was
Matt.
probably terrifying.
Matt,
Listen to what they did, dude. I had
They
to call the
probably
parts
didn't even-
department for this guy
Dude,
because
They
it was
probably
just
didn't even know what you were trying to get. They were probably so
No.
confused.
no, they
Dude.
didn't. Literally.
I went in there because I wanted a set of filters for the 450. So I'm like, hey, I need the filters. I'm just changing the fuel filters. There's two of them.
Simple.
One in the engine and one down by the fuel tank. He goes, oh, okay.
You confused the hell out of them.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I guess. I don't know. I said I never ordered them yet. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
I'm just changing the fuel filters. So he goes, we don't have those. I'm like, you don't have fuel filters for a Powerstroke in stock? Really? And he's like, we'll have to order it. It'll be here later. So I get it. Later I go, I've never bought a fuel filter for a Powerstroke. It's my first time doing it. And the bill's like $188. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? It's kind of weird, but all right. So
I mean,
I-
all right.
it sits in my truck for a couple days, and then I'm like, let me open this up. I'm out eating lunch. Let me open this up and look at it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is this? He sold me the primary fuel filter and the housing.
The whole thing.
He sold me the whole housing.
What is this?
I'm like, what? I'm like, and then too, I'm kind of dumb at the same time because I really didn't, like I said, I never did it.
Pulled it off, didn't you?
No, I kind of looked at it. I looked at it real quick. I'm eating lunch. I look at it real quick, and I was just like, well, you'd only sell. I was like, well, it's missing the other one. And then I didn't really look at it. I just kind of looked in there like, what? I didn't even pull it out. I just looked like, where's the little one? And I just saw that. And man, I've never even taken a filter off, so I don't know yet.
Dude, Sean, I really don't want to make fun of you right now, but you didn't like see the box that said like
the box.
It
the
didn't
box
say
was
like
huge.
fuel condition, like it didn't say fuel conditioning module on it. It didn't say like motorcraft fuel filters and have the power.
No, neither one of the boxes have. Well, I finally got the right one, so neither had that.
It did say 9N184 on it.
Right, like I'm gonna know if that's making fun of me, then I'll take it. I don't know.
No,
994.
I don't know. It's just the fuel filter box is a very, very
Well, now that I've seen,
obvious box.
well, now that I've seen it, I know that it's kind of not good on my part.
You have something to
That's
compare it
funny.
to.
Yeah,
That's
that is
funny.
pretty bad. Like the whole module, the whole thing is pretty huge compared to just the filter. Like the thing.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I'm looking like.
Oh yeah.
So I called the guy and I'm like, you gave me the wrong one, and he ordered another one.
The same
And
thing.
then the same thing. He ordered the same thing. So it wasn't until like I was
Dude, how
me
long
and-
did it wait until okay.
That's
Because
why
they
they
won't
didn't
be
have
days
it.
in,
in-
four
Hold on.
days in now.
Yeah.
Hold on, back up. At what point
And it's
were you
450.
were you like, wait, this is wrong. I should call Aaron.
He
No,
did.
I called him right away, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't know. I
Okay.
was just like, well, there's only one in here. I just like, there's only one in here. There's not two. But
Damn, they must have screwed it up.
I ended up seeing him, but I was like, hey, why don't you look in that box and tell me what you think? Because I really honestly didn't look. I didn't look. I just peeked in there.
Wait.
He pulls it out. It's the whole
Wait.
thing. He's like, why do you have the whole thing? Why do you have the filter and the housing?
Oh my god, dude.
That was
Oh.
funny shit, man.
God, dude, Ryan
And
is
then-
just a
and then I
silent
call-
giant over here.
And then I call him and I'm like, dude, you don't need to reorder that. You need to order me a fuel filter set. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's in stock.
All right, what is
Story time with Sean, from
Yeah,
destroying
hold on,
friends'
hold-
cars to $200 fuel filters.
hold on.
I'm like, man, diesel
What
maintenance.
is this is
I
this
love
is episode what, 30?
This is episode 30. This is the
Oh.
last day of March.
Boys, you need to do me and the rest of us a solid right now. If you want Aaron or Ryan or I to spend the time to go through every single podcast and make a edit of
Yeah,
every Sean
do that.
story. It's just going to be story time with Sean.
It's fun.
It's going to have
some of
every
those-
single story in there.
You know, speaking
Some of those
texts,
are just pure gold.
Sean had, before he started talking about his fuel filter debacle, I for all those that are listening, for those technicians, for anybody watching on YouTube, I am looking. I have Matt included and a couple of other guys. I am looking for technicians all across the United States and Canada. I would say Mexico, but I don't speak any Spanish. I want to be able, I get asked a lot, hey, where are you? I'm in Detroit. Oh, that's too far of a drive. I'm in Southern California, or blah, 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 blah. I want to have a network of technicians that I am somehow,
Ooh.
I don't say you can approve, because I'm not going to obviously be able to meet you, but maybe we can do a Zoom
Committee.
a committee. That's a good
The
adjective.
PTT
Tech
PTC.
network.
package powwow.
PTT's tech network. If somebody asks me for help with their truck, hey, where are you located? You know what? I got a guy about an hour and a half away from you at a Ford dealership. Why don't you go ask for so-and-so? He's going to take care of you. There is so many times that I'm hearing that the technicians, these people are driving across the United States to come and see me to get a battery light fixed because their local dealership doesn't have a person that can figure it out, or they've been
You
back and
really
forth to
can't
that dealer.
figure out a P0625.
I don't know what's going on. And
Get out the shop then.
I think it's silly. And I want to help take that silliness out of it, just like Bliss was talking about, to make a change. It's not about just me. It's about making that change, leaving a difference. And if I can help, I just had it happen it was coming as a realization. I've been thinking about it, and I want to manifest it. One of my subscribers in Ontario is having a problem with his 2020. What do you say? I think he needs the trans reprogram DS that we just did to yours. I got a guy that's in his city at the Ford dealer in Ontario. You got to go check out Mike Chan. He's going to take care of you. And that has been getting me thinking even more. And even we got Matt on the west side of Michigan.
Yeah, if you're in West
anybody
Michigan,
in Chicago, anybody in Indiana, Illinois, boom, jet up, see Matt. I'm in the Detroit area. You don't even have
to see me. We've got stores in Chicago. We've got stores in Cadillac and Traverse City, and I know all the guys there. And I would gladly say they can take care of you. They're definitely able to do it.
If you're an upstanding tech, and if you're watching my videos or following my channel, you see the kind of work that I'm doing. I'm not doing, as my mother would say, half-baked work. And I am looking for that in technicians out there. I want to be able to confidently send somebody to another Ford store, have that customer's expectations met as if they were coming to see me. And I think that is going to spread like a wildfire once people start realizing that we're growing this network of community of not just technicians, but Ford dealer technicians. We have an access to the Ford dealer. We're getting warranty work done. It's going to be done right the first time. We're not going to get any riffraff. We're not that stigma. I'm going to the dealership. Oh, you're going to, are they going to sell you this and this? Oh, hey man, I just got this. No, I want to weed that out. And it's going to come to a reality. And I'm looking for you guys. Reach out to me. I got my email up top. Reach down in the comment section. Let us know. Let Matt know. We got his everybody's email handles or
Instagram,
their social medias. I'm being for real. I think this would be a good opportunity.
I've thought about
for one to meet people, but to get their trucks fixed. And
the biggest thing I think is you're bringing integrity back to the dealer technicians, or just the dealer service. I think that's the reasoning behind what I'm hearing, what you're saying, is bringing that integrity back, because for far too long, I think your last 15, 20 years is about money and you know, a lot of lies been said, and if you chase money, then that's what you'll get, but then that money will put you down to the ground. But if you just do high integrity work, and I mean, shoot, you may be going down to the ground, but at least you can hold your head up high at the end of the day. You know, that's what it's about.
You know, we got two landscapers here. We got DS Reeling. These dudes are giving it 100 every time. They're going out cutting. They're going out salting. They're going out plowing. We got two techs right here that are giving it 100 every day. We may be getting ticked off and pissed off, you know, something's not, these trucks don't come apart just like they're supposed to come apart. And sometimes it's frustrating. We're keeping it 100. It's a real struggle. And Bliss, he's going to attest to his trials and tribulations that he has to go through to get this shop coming up, or go through these trucks like he is, or maintaining his customer satisfaction level, because he's got a business to run. And it's all about, you know, if we can maintain that group of people, you network with him, he networks with you, his guy networks with him, this guy networks with this guy, and it's just, you keep all that, just keep it flowing, just keep it flowing.
Yep.
And
Organic growth will be the key to success. Organic growth. That's my motto. That's how I've gotten to the point where I am. 90% of our business is all either repeat or referral. So word will spread. You just do one at a time. Word will spread.
How long do you think you've outdoor trucks, like how long you been, what's it been?
In business,
6 years? Year?
like with the title, I think 2-3 years.
Doing your
almost
online,
3 years.
your online stuff.
Almost about 3 years. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, which really isn't a long time, but at the same time, it feels like a long time. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like a long time. It's gone by quick.
But something like that,
So-
I mean, I have never really been into that before, or have dabbled. But I mean, I can imagine it's got to be growing like quickly.
Yeah, I think this last year has been the best year, and each year has been better. But I think aside from the stimulus checks and all that kind of stuff, and COVID making everybody stay at home and wanting to do something in the truck, I think the key to our success has been just being a person of integrity, taking care of people right, and making sure that I'm trying to put forth the best that I can for them. So I think that's been the key to success.
Now, Matt and I at work, we are seeing Sean, it literally looked like you were asleep.
No, dude,
I think he was there for a second.
No, I wasn't. I'm just chilling, bro.
He's just vibing.
Yeah, I'm
No,
just
he was
vibing,
just talking
man.
about he was up for 3. He worked it. He's been doing outdoor truck for 3 years.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. Matt and I.
Oh, we've lost you. We've lost you a few times.
Never lost me ever. I may have fallen asleep while talking, but you've never
Oh,
lost
dude,
me. Not ever.
we lost you like once.
That one time.
Like you were, baby boy was out.
I could hear
yeah,
you though.
he was
I'm
out.
telling you. Look, I swear
So,
I could hear you.
Are you running full synthetic? I got 430 gears. Wait, hold on. Drink.
Yeah, dude, he gets up for that. He gets up for that. I'm telling
No,
you.
I remember that. I could hear you.
Yeah, I mean, this is about right. We've been at it for about an hour, so Sean's gonna come alive right now.
That brings you back to my question about parts. And Matt and I are seeing this big.
About it.
Yeah, I know, but we got a businessman here, and he's got to be dealing. He's a parts man. Are you having a hard time in your geographic location? I don't know if it's going to matter, but are you having a hard time getting parts just with back ordered? If it's floor mats or tonneau covers or springs, lifts, are you seeing that? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
probably?
compared to before pre-COVID and stuff like that. Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely a diminished inventory that's being carried throughout all within the manufacturing themselves, for I think 2 reasons. One is that COVID happened, and so municipalities made people not work, or made people not want to work, so therefore production goes down. And number 2 is, while production is going down, demand's going up because people have more money than ever. Well, some people that have taken care of the finance and stuff, they have more money than extra spending money. So the demand has gone up. So it creates a massive shortage that, and so manufacturers are trying to stay up as much as they can, but at the same time, they're trying to follow their rules and stuff like that, or whatever they got to do. I feel bad for the ones that have to cut half their staff. Like, I've got some California manufacturers that had to cut their staffs in half, or whatever it is. And so
that's just sad.
And so, for example, like one prime example, I think, is shocks. Getting my hand on shocks has been very difficult, whether it's directly from the manufacturer or from other distributors. Yep. So like Foxes and Bilsteins, I mean, it has been very tough. There's some that are just in massive bulk quantities that will always be in stock, but those are always the same inventory level, just because not a lot of people use them, I guess. But
Oh, I got a question for you. So, I mean, you're a parts man, and I'm a parts buying dude. What do you got for lights? I'm a lights man. Like, any kind of
Mhm.
lights? Like, you just order whatever kind of lights, or you got like
yeah, like we
rock
carry
crawl
like
lights?
You're doing rigids or something like that?
so we sell rigids, we sell Morimoto, we sell Anso, we sell
Oh,
Recon.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
But as far as like light bars and stuff like that, Rigid is one of the leaders in the industry for sure. Very very expensive, but you know you're getting a quality product.
Yeah, you're paying
that,
for what you get for sure.
You know, and you know that you're gonna have customer support behind it. I haven't had
I should go
get
grab
to that point,
something.
but yeah, you know, rigids are one. As far as rock lights, man, I haven't been the type of person to run rock lights, so I really haven't sold any either.
I gotcha.
I, you know, I guess I'll drop a hint. You know, in the coming builds, I may experiment with that. I just know rock lights are a pain in the butt to wire up, to mount, and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I
So,
guess when I think that I'm kind of bummed out because DS has got it, and I don't know why in the heck I don't have it on mine. If you pay attention, like if you go to the back of your cab,
there's a plug, audio plug.
yeah,
Yep.
like on
So
the frame.
so on my 2015 F250 King Ranch, I think I have a short YouTube video on it, but I plug up some amp steps and I ran some an LED strip and I wired it into OEM. I purchased like I
Yeah,
think 50 whole bag of audio harnesses and I sold them as kits actually. So I created my own kits for that. But some trim levels, I think it's some of the higher trim levels like
for the running
Lariats or
boards.
I think
My STX XL has it,
What?
really
Well, how
okay.
come I
So
don't have
but I
it?
have a 360 camera on mine,
it's
so they might have had to
it's
put a
hit
bigger
or
harness.
miss. The King
Yeah.
Ranch, my 15 King Ranch had the steps that had the stock two lights on the front
On
and
the
the back
front.
of the running
Yeah.
board,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's where that went to. And so
That's the
so
only thing I can
my
think
truck
of.
had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to do was I wanted to buy the factory connector, from Parts Department, get
yeah.
whatever light. I was thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely got it.
Anything
And
that runs in 12 volts.
I lay up underneath there and I even got it. I'm like, oh,
You want to see
Oh.
something?
I need a good reverse light right now. When it
You wanna
goes in
see something
reverse,
cool?
show us. What do you got?
Yeah.
What
Want
do
to
you
see
got?
something cool? Speaking of rigid,
Oh,
is that an
oh,
RC
What?
car?
he's got the rigid UDR, and guess what? It's got the light bars in it.
dang.
That is pretty neat. Hey, I saw
Working
someone
tail light.
really cool on Instagram,
Lights.
and it was a 2017 through 19 F450, same color as that purplish blue that Whistling Diesel destroyed, that entry level lift truck. It was the same color, and I thought it was a real truck, and it was an RC truck. This kid I think it's a kid, I don't know, but it could be some grown men like us. But
I've
he
seen that.
made a very, very, very good replicate of a real
Dude, I
Super.
wish.
Was
I
it a
wish
So I actually,
dually?
yes, it was a dually 450.
Yeah, you know what?
I saw that.
I
You
saw.
y'all
I
saw
saw.
that?
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember there was like
I
this
wish you could
string
see
of
the
videos
details.
because the RC car company made like a
Look at the
450
tires. Look at the tires.
RC car.
They're BFGs. They're BFGs, my dude. Look at it all.
How fast is that thing?
On 6 cells, it'll do like 50.
Dang.
Dude, she's scale. I can't wait to break this thing.
Hope you don't break it. But at the same time, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Hey, so anyways, that guy, I reached out to him and was like, hey, I will pay you money, good money, if you can build my truck. And he said he couldn't. I was like, oh no. I was like, literally, I mean, you just tell me the bill. Because I was thinking man, growing up, all I did was draw trucks. And like, I remember the first time I got my hands on an RC truck and I had to do my little lifts and stuff like that to it. Oh my gosh. I was drooling over that thing. And then I reached out to the guy and he was like, I can't do that. I was like, oh.
That's funny.
Right.
Like, I think
you just gave me a new mission in life. I'm gonna try
that thing
to
that
make
was
your truck.
playing, and it made me double take. I'm like, wait, is that
Yeah.
Is that it is an RC truck? I'm like, God, I thought that was a
Yeah.
real truck.
Yeah. You got him.
He got me. He pulled me. Shoot. Rhino. Or Ryan.
Hot butter.
What's our time?
Is
I
Ryan
know it's
frozen?
creeping up late.
Oh, there you go.
It's creeping.
Let's go a little longer. I don't mind.
Yeah, we did one last night, and I gotta wrap this up. I'm getting tired.
You gotta wrap it up.
I gotta wrap it up. Everybody,
You don't want no more.
this was
kids.
awesome. Let us know. We had a bunch of topics we discussed in here. I took a couple notes. I think Ryan and Reeland's got some notes. We'll give Matt's idea definitely a try. We're gonna try to get a better description of each of the podcasts in the description and the titles, maybe, so that people know what we're talking about, because it is kind of, labeled, I guess, kind of funny. But I want to remind all those techs out there, make sure to reach out to Matt, reach out to the email above. We're looking for those good quality technicians to forward on a Ford customer with a Super Duty for life if that customer chooses to. So make sure to check out Bliss's social media, King Rancher 13. Check his Instagram, his YouTube. Check his awesome online store, outdoortrucks.com. And did I say that right?
Yep.
And make sure to check us out on the major podcast apps for you guys that obviously can't watch us on YouTube. Want to get down with us and talk trucks, because we're keeping it real, no BS with DS.
Dude, DS is
PTT
sleeping again.
Huh?
He's tired.
He's ready. Hey guys,
Let's
thank
go
y'all
all
so
night.
much for having me on with y'all tonight. It's been awesome, being able to interact with other guys in the industry, and
Right on,
have
man.
a great time. Feel free to invite me anytime.
For sure.
For sure.
We'll catch you guys later. Thanks so much. See ya.
All right.